Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Nerds with Friends. My name is Cody Leach. As always, I'm joined by Christian Garcia. Hope you guys all had a happy 4th of July.
Oh, no, you were talking in the future.
Yeah, because this will come out the day after.
I was like, wait a second. Did I fucking lose track of time?
Did I miss America's birthday? Yeah, I hope you guys had a good time. I always like to watch, like either the movie Independence Day is a good 4th of July movie. Not the second one. God, that movie.
I don't even remember it.
Dude, it was real bad. Will Smith dies off camera and because he didn't want to come back for it, and it was just so bad.
If they had done or approached it like the new Top Gun movie, it would have been fucking great.
I mean, if they did freaking every movie like the new Top Gun movie, it would be great. Like, that movie kicked ass. It was just the perfect sequel. But it always gets me pumped up when, what's his name, Bill Pullman gives that, this is our Independence Day speech.
Yeah, to the world.
Yeah, I love it. So good. And then freaking Randy Quaid goes up and blows himself up.
Before he went full conspiracy theory.
Dude, he is crazy.
Didn't he move to Canada or something because he thought the government was after him?
Yeah, probably. He basically is that guy from that movie.
That's why he did it so well.
He thinks he got abducted by aliens and the government's out to get him.
Who knows? Maybe it's true now that we know UFOs and stuff.
It's true.
UAPs. Maybe he was telling the truth the whole fucking time. First whistleblower.
The government doesn't want Randy Quaid for anything. Thank you guys for liking and subscribing. It really helps out the show if you just click the little button down at the bottom of the YouTubes, or if you're on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or Spotify, just leave us a little heart or subscribe to the podcast so you know when new episodes are coming out. That does help us. And if you want to take it one step further, check out patreon.com/nerdswithfriends. It's always down at the bottom of the screen on the old YouTubes, and you can find it at nerdswithfriendspodcast.com. Support the show. We need money. We love it. We love it. It helps us buy new cameras and lights and all that good jazz. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about what our initial thoughts around Umbrella Academy Season 3 are. Christian's not all the way done with it, so we won't go into too many spoilers.
I'm almost done with it.
And we'll talk about some other stuff as well along the way. Before we do that, let's talk some nerdy confessions where we confess the things that make us nerds. Christian, what's your nerd confession?
Nerdy confession is I'm still playing Evil Dead. I fucking love it. It's simplified. I wish there's a 6th level that they haven't unlocked yet. Mm-hmm. And I keep refreshing the check wait, I want this new fucking level. But I can't bring myself to play as the Deadites. I've only been playing as the heroes. And I was just I know it's a game. I don't want to be a demon. I don't want to be a demon.
Yeah.
I just don't like it. But I know I'm missing out on points and skills. And also, if I start playing as a demon, I can better understand their powers and how they go and how to better defend. But I just can't bring myself to do it, man. I can't do it. I don't know if you guys have issues with being villains or doing evil shit in video games, but I don't like doing it.
I love it. Remember that controversial level in Call of Duty? I think it was Modern Warfare 2.
Where you can kill the family. Or the mom and the kid?
No, not that one. It was the one at the airport when you just go through the airport with machine guns and just murder people.
I don't think I remember that.
Dude, it was a big controversy at the time, and everyone's like, oh my God, because, it's a post 9/11 world and everything, and you're being a terrorist and stuff. But I was just like, dude, this level's fucking awesome. And it's, and I mean, it looked crazy too, because, the thing with Call of Duty games is, all levels are basically the same. You're just this one's in the woods and you're shooting people. This one, you're in a building and shooting people. But this one, you're walking slowly through a public space. It was pretty fun, man.
Thinking about it now, I don't have a problem playing the Grand Theft Auto games, and you do some pretty questionable shit on there, particularly when you're the last one, the one that's been out for
3 consoles,
10 plus years or whatever. The crazy, he's not homeless, but he looks homeless.
The meth head dude. I forget what his name is.
Where he just goes insane. And he starts killing off random people in the street. I just realized I didn't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I lost interest in that game so long ago. And they're like, oh, look, Grand Theft Auto 5 now on PS5. I'm like, what have you been doing, Rockstar? Like, let's. I know they
Working
did.
on Red Dead Redemption 2.
I know they did Red Dead, but that game is also now like 5 years old, 6 years old. It's like, come on, man.
You know, I can't be mad because every game they put out is a fucking banger. So
I don't know. Like I was not a big fan of Grand Theft Auto 5, but you know, it's one of those things like Vice City was so good and San Andreas was really good too. And it's hard to kind of like beat the feel and, you know, the I don't know, the environment of it all, right? Vice City was obviously like a Miami Vice 80s theme. The music was incredible. San Andreas was like the first time we got like an accurate representation of LA, you know, with all the gangs and stuff. And
I like the new one. I was shocked.
It was fine, but like it's one of those games where I get into the middle of it and I'm like, I just don't care anymore. I don't want to drive to this side of the map and pick up this thing and drive to this side of the map and kill this guy. I'm just like over it. I think it's very hard to make an open world game where you feel like, you know, like you keep and maintain interest the entire time. Horizon Zero Dawn is another game, or Horizon Forbidden West, where it's, you know, it's fun, but then certain missions are just like, oh man, I don't care about this guy. Like I don't care that this guy's brother's lost in the dinosaur wilderness. Like who gives a shit? So it's very hard to get that right mixture of lots of stuff to do, but doesn't feel repetitive.
You know, outside of Elden Ring, I think the last game that did it well was the Zelda one.
Breath of the Wild, 100%. Yeah. That one is one of those games where like, you know, I would turn on the game with like, I don't have anything clear in mind of what I want to do. I'm just going to run around and see what happens. You know what I mean? And I think that's one of those games. I think Red Dead did a pretty good job for a while. I did lose interest in it after a while, but like it was one of those games that had really cool looking environments and you're like, oh fuck, I just want to kind of wander around. But yeah, Elden Ring's great.
In terms of environments though, Ghost of Tsushima was probably the prettiest.
Yeah, that one was a good one. And I did like the characters and stuff in that one. You know, I never really got bored with it. There were certain things I wouldn't do, but for the most part, like I was always after the next story, you know, story beat and the next area and that sort of thing. So that was a really incredible game too. I've been trying to get people on that one.
Hopefully we get another one soon. I know they're working on the movie. And I remember they were picking on who are they going to cast. I'm like, just the motion cap guy. Like, pick the actor you modeled it after. Why wouldn't you pick him?
I don't know. You know, it's one of those things where like I do understand why the movie studio does it, right? Where it's like they want to get asses in seats, right? So if you have unknown mocap voice actor dude, like no, that's not going to have a draw, right? But if you get freaking like Ken Watanabe or whatever, or
he's great, but I think he's too old.
Too old, yeah. He could play like the uncle
for sure.
Fuck yeah. You know, you get some actor that is like new and popular. You know, unfortunately, there's not that many Asian American ones out there because Hollywood hates them. But that's its own problem. But you know, they are trying to get asses in seats, which is why, like, remember the whole Scarlett Johansson Ghost in the Shell thing?
Yeah,
it's like I get it. Like,
didn't she have other movies though that she took? I don't think it was the only one. I'm sure anyone listening might be able to point it out to us.
There's probably other movies out there who have done it too, but that was a high profile one because it's straight up based on an anime, and the major's name is Kusanagi, I think. And it's like, okay, you have this white lady named Major Kusanagi. You're like, okay. What? I mean,
what's wrong there, Cody?
Yeah. Well, they wrote it into the story where it's like she's in a robot body and they just made the robot body like, you know, a hot lady. Like, if you're going to make a robot body, why wouldn't it look like Scarlett Johansson, right? You know what I mean? But
I'm just surprised they didn't like lean into it more villainish. Like, oh well, her eyes were too tiny, so we needed them bigger so she could see more. Like, yeah. I'm just surprised they didn't take that route or some shit.
Yeah, or like have her be upset that she's in a body that doesn't represent her.
You know what I mean? Something.
Like at least acknowledge a little bit. But you know, also at the same time, it's like, okay, well, you know, you want Scarlett Johansson because she's going to sell movie tickets, right?
Yeah.
and she's also wearing like a skin tight bodysuit the entire movie. So it's like, right? Everyone wants to see that, right?
She hasn't done anything since that whole Disney thing, huh?
No, I don't.
I wonder if she got blacklisted.
I don't think she'll get blacklisted. She may not be in another Marvel movie for a while, but I think she's gonna do just.
You know what
fine.
I saw the other day? It was trending, making Chris Evans Wolverine, and I was just like, well, he was Captain America, but theoretically they could if he's from another dimension. Oh, in this multiverse,
no,
he was.
I
he
don't.
Just so happened to be.
First of all. If they're gonna bring Chris Evans back in, just make him Captain America. It's like, oh, I discovered something that made me unage, or like they pull him from when he went back in time because they need him one more time. Or something.
You know what I feel is gonna happen, and I'm gonna dislike it, and I don't think the audience would like it. Is when they do that whole evil Captain America where he was
Captain Hydra or whatever.
Yeah, where he was part of Hydra. Like I can see them doing it, and it's gonna fucking suck. It would be cool to see Chris Evans be a villain because
he's great.
He's great. He was great in
Knives Out.
Knives Out, yeah. Mm-hmm. But I just hated.
And there's a new one that he's doing coming soon too, where it looks like he's playing kind of a bad guy. Ooh, I can't remember what it is though, but it looked good, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" I like him as an actor. I think he's a great actor. We got really off topic there.
Hopefully, he's not one of those guys who's got terrible, like he's terrible and fucking behind the scenes. Like, so, like, I hope not. Yeah. Now, after the whole fucking the Satine and Jameson thing, I feel like I can't trust anyone.
Yeah.
I just can't. Like, nope, I'm just going to imagine behind the scenes you're a dick. That way, if it happens, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he seems like a nice man. I feel like even if he was a dick, I'd deal with it a little bit. Like, fuck Captain America / the Human Torch. My nerdy confession is also video game related, Christian. I recently downloaded the new Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge.
There's a Ninja Turtle fucking game?
Fuck yes, there is. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge is a 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up game, just like the Ninja Turtle arcade game and Ninja Turtles Turtles in Time. Definitely pulls from those games. It looks very similar, but obviously updated for like today's consoles and whatnot. And it's up to 6-player online co-op, so you can be the 4 turtles, and you can be Master Splinter.
What?
April O'Neil, and I think Casey Jones is an unlockable character as well.
Casey Jones is always one of my favorite characters.
I know, so sick.
It's great that April O'Neil's in it, but I don't recall her learning how to fight.
Yeah, it was like her whole deal is like she's like swinging around movie or TV cameras and stuff like that, microphones. I mean, whatever, it's fine. It is cool to see her in her signature yellow jumpsuit. Yeah, dude, it's really fun. So it's one of those games where it's like it looks pixelated, but the pixels are super sharp because it's actually 4K, and it's different levels than the original games, but they feel very similar where, you're just walking from one side to the next and you're beating up the foot soldiers and stuff like that. The music's awesome. They have a bunch of original music, like new ninja raps and stuff like that. They have a couple levels where you're on the skateboards hovering over the city and whatnot. Dude, it's real fun. And there's like special moves and stuff.
Oh, Nickelodeon did it.
Yeah, I think they own the Ninja Turtles rights now. Yep. So check it out. Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge.
I'm down. I still play side scroll beat 'em up games. My brother David, he had me download what was Streets of Rage. I don't know if it was 5 or 4.
Yeah, it's 4 or 5. Yeah,
that one's great. I actually just bought new characters and new skins. I was playing it with my niece. She's okay. I'm teaching her. She's getting better. But I still play it, man. It's so much fun, and it's like an independent studio that did it. And I think they should do that with more games. Like, just release it to other studios and see what they do. Like, to this day, my favorite Devil May Cry is the one that Ninja Theory did. The
DMC one or whatever.
Yeah, it was fucking great, man. I was so pissed off when Capcom took it back, and then they put out that new game that was okay.
That like no one played.
It was fine, yeah. But the Ninja Theory one was so amazing, man. It was so good. And I don't think they've really done any any games? I know they did like
Dude, like I said, we've said it before. Capcom just hates their fans. They're like, oh, we have.
You've said it. I have not disagreed, but I have also not.
The world
agreed.
agrees, Christian. I don't need you to agree. The world agrees with me.
I think they forever have my love because of Street Fighter, man. It's really hard.
Oh yeah, so you big time on Street Fighter 5?
Is there a Street Fighter 5?
Exactly, Christian. Exactly. There is a Street Fighter 5.
Point made, Cody.
There is a Street Fighter 5, but no one played it, right? Like it's
That's producer Rick.
It is true. Street Fighter 5 when it came out, it was essentially the exact same game as Street Fighter 4. But they had a couple new characters for sure, but you had to like pay to have Guile, the character Guile, who was a starting character in Street Fighter, the original.
That's some bullshit.
And it had no arcade mode when it first came out. So you know how like when you play Street Fighter at an arcade, you just start at one guy and you work your way all the way up and fight the boss M. Bison at the end, right?
Like basically the whole
how an arcade fighting game works.
Yeah.
That was not in the game. It was online only. So all you could do is you could either play 1 versus 1, a buddy sitting next to you, playing the same console as you, or you can play people online, and that's it.
And just get destroyed by
get destroyed by the people low kicking you forever. Yeah. They eventually released the arcade mode afterwards as a free DLC, but it was like, dude, like they just don't listen to their fans.
I think the last fighter game from Capcom was whatever Marvel vs. Capcom it was, and I was actually I was excited they had like Thor. Mm-hmm. I don't remember the other characters. Oh, Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
But they were so slow. It was like the physics was very, very slow. And playing online was terrible. And I think the combo system, I was like, dude, it's not like any of the other games. Like,
right.
I was like, maybe I'll buy a book or look online. I was like, nah, I don't care enough.
Right.
Maybe I do hate Capcom.
Yeah, exactly. They're just one of these companies. Like, and look at Resident Evil, right? So a lot of people really like the new one. So that's good signs.
I think a lot of people loved the hot vampire.
The hot vampire lady.
Yeah,
the real tall lady. They're like, oh God, I didn't know I liked tall girls so much. But they took the formula of Resident Evil, where it's like survival horror fighting against zombies, right? And they've just kept getting away, further and further and further and further away from that, until now it's like, okay, now it's a weird first person like mystery suspense game with werewolves and vampires. You're like, okay. I mean, I'm not saying that game we don't want that game to exist, but why is it Resident Evil anymore?
Yeah, it was a little. Did you play it? Did you finish it?
No, I didn't play it at all. I have no interest in playing that.
Okay, so there's a part where like you get your hand lopped off by the giant vampire lady, and I was like, oh shit, like damn, this is gonna be hard, interesting, Wraps his arm up, and I was like, okay, cool. It might be interesting, like playing with, disabled so early in the game. And then he unwraps it. He pours like you get herbs to make like potions as he pours the potion.
Old green herbs or blue herbs and red herbs.
Yeah. So he pours the potion on his arm, and he connects his arm back, and you're like, what the fuck? That's not how it works. Later on, at the end of the game, you learn why, but it's like,
okay,
pop some hints.
Yeah,
like something.
Put a little something in there. Yeah, yeah. Capcom just hates their fan base. So, I wish it's like Mega Man, right? How long have people been asking for like a new updated Mega Man game? And like they'll come out with like a weird one every once in a while, but it's never any good.
Isn't there like a Mega Man 10 or something?
Maybe. Again, like I'm talking AAA game. Like let's make like the even the new Metroid game I wasn't super stoked about, but that's a Nintendo game. But yeah, man, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Capcom, but Shredder's Revenge is not Capcom. It's great. Okay, we're going to take a quick little break. When we get back, we're going to be talking a little bit about some of the shows we've been watching lately. We'll be right back. And we're back. Okay. Well, there's been some, we're in a bit of a lull as far as like new stuff coming out, but there are a couple new things out right now. One is The Boys, which you've been watching.
Yes.
Right? You're all caught up on that one?
Yes.
God damn, this season 3 is awesome. We won't talk any real spoilers. Maybe some little light ones if you haven't watched any of season 3. And also, the Umbrella Academy is back as well. Again, we won't go into super spoilers, but we want to talk a little bit about what we like about them and if they're worth watching, if they've gotten better this season or not. What we didn't really talk about it when Dave Walters was here, but we should have done Stranger Things.
No, yeah.
It's fine. We'll do a whole episode on Stranger Things.
Or wait, when you said we had... Which one?
B. Dave Walters or Kevin L. Johnson. Yeah. I know. We didn't really talk about it. That show's great too. Watch that show. It's in rarefied form. I think this might be my favorite season of Stranger Things since season 1.
The last season I really enjoyed too.
I liked it too. 2 was by far the weakest.
Yeah.
But I like this season better than last season.
Really happy they dropped the whole sister thing. That was so bad. That was in season 2.
Where there was like the other numbers.
Yeah, where 11 had a sister. I was like, this is bad.
Yeah, and like, why is she in? Was she in the flashback sequence? It doesn't matter. Anyway, I remember that happening, but then all the kids were in the experiment thing.
Yeah.
And sorry, like spoilers, they all get murdered.
Yeah.
And so like I was like, I thought she met her sister. Did I dream that? Like,
no, yeah, she did.
But let's talk a little bit about. First, we'll start with The Boys. So The Boys on Amazon Prime Video with good old Carl Urban, the man. And
who I think should play Wolverine. You'd be fucking awesome.
He would be. He's just too old. Again, I think they're gonna go with some younger guy.
Some guy that could stretch it out for a while. Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing is, like in the comics, we don't. There's not. I mean, sure, there's Wolverine origins, but it's not a whole lot of content or a lot of comics with young Wolverine.
Right.
So
I don't think he needs to be like 15. I think what he should be is he should be some guy in his like early 20s who they can reliably say is somewhere in the age of 30 to 35 for 10 years. You know what I mean?
Someone had mentioned Daniel Radcliffe, and I actually would be down.
I wouldn't be down. Yeah, I think that would be okay. Taron Egerton, the guy from The Kingsman, he has also expressed a lot of interest. That might be interesting. But The Boys is back for season 3. Shit's going crazy in it. What are you thinking of how do you think the season's going so far?
It's great, man. It's great. I feel like they do a lot of social commentary, but they do it like I feel there's some that's so subtle that goes lost on certain people. I don't know, but I really like it. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, the Fox News angle from this season is my favorite part of the show. It's so great. Where like Homelander is like going crazy. He's like, you know what? This is bullshit. I'm just better than everyone. Yeah. You guys should be afraid of me because like I'm a better being than all of you people. And he's like, oh my God, that's so brave. What a hero. He's tired of the bullshit. He's taking it down from the inside. He's like, even he's surprised that it's working.
Yeah, he was shocked that everyone.
Guy, that actor, I don't have his name available right now, but he's tremendous. He's the perfect person for
He's
that.
Great. My fiance had me. We were starting to watch a show. Well, she was watching a show with the same guy. Only he plays the main character. Like he's the good guy in it. Yeah. And I've watched a couple episodes and I was like, I can't buy him as the good guy, man. Because I can't. It's like, no, he's fucking
psychopath.
Evil. But he is good in it. I forgot his name, but no, that dude's a great actor. I definitely want to see him in more things. You see the pictures of him wearing high heels?
No, I have not.
Yeah, so apparently, he's
awesome,
he's not that tall, and he has to be taller than certain characters on screen. And they were like, yeah, so we're gonna put you on a platform. He's like, or I could just wear heels. Like we could, or we could, we could just put this platform and you can stand on it. I was like, no, I'm just gonna wear heels.
I'm just gonna wear heels. His name is Anthony Starr, He's amazing.
And there's pictures of him like with his legs crossed, wearing his heels, and people are like excited. But
That's fucking sick. How awesome. He's great, and there's a lot of cool stuff happening in this season. You know, I like the relationship between Frenchie and what's the girl's name?
I forgot her name.
I think they called her just the girl for a long time.
Yeah, they're both great.
Kimiko.
Kimiko, you're right.
I think that's her name. Yeah, I love their little relationship that they have going. Then there's Huey and Starlight have some stuff, and like we see one of Starlight's ex-boyfriends who's like a Ricky Martin character almost. Like he's great. And that song that they recorded is so funny if you listen to the lyrics.
The Deep, I know that the Deep plays a villain.
Yeah,
he's
the best. The octopus.
He just fucking. I wish they had not put that disclaimer in the beginning.
It's so fun. Like, okay,
like just let it happen.
So here's some light spoilers. Okay, it's just for one bit that happens in the show about halfway through the season, where the Deep, like one of his funny things is like he's supposed to be Aquaman, right? Essentially, Aquaman, Submariner, whoever you want. And so he can swim, breathe underwater, and talk to fish.
With that outfit, he's Aquaman.
Right, 100%. And so one of the jokes is that he's like, you know, he's like sexually attracted to certain sea creatures because he spends so much time with them. And so there's one episode where at the beginning, and the disclaimer was pretty funny. Like you could tell like Seth Rogen or whoever was writing it was like, this is bullshit that we have to put this in there. But it's like, look guys, there's going to be some scenes in here with some obviously inappropriate sexual situations
that some of you might find. All right, everyone's going to find offensive.
Yeah, everyone's going to find offensive. And he's like, but it was either we used no animals were harmed, everything was consensual, obviously, and we just spent a shit ton of money on CGI. Yeah. So the scene in question is at this thing called Hero-gasm, where it's like all the like B and C list superheroes get together and have a huge orgy with each other, and the Starlight walks in on the Deep having sex with an octopus, and it was just so funny. Like you knew something like that was going to happen because he had kind of hinted at it earlier on. But man, that actor guy, he just nailed it, and it's hilarious. Super violent as per usual. I love Soldier Boy. With
Jensen Ackles.
Yeah, Jensen Ackles from Supernatural. Dude, he kills it. And I love, because he's basically playing Captain America, but like a more realistic Captain America, where he's from like the 40s and 50s. And so he has all these antiquated outlooks on like race, gender, you know, social cues and stuff. And so just watching him just like say the most ignorant racist shit is so funny. And he's like so out of touch, and like he doesn't think like women can be doctors or whatever. I don't know. He has a bunch of
when he's coming back, he sees the posters. I think it was during Pride, and like he sees two guys.
No, it wasn't even during Pride. It was just two dudes like who met each other and then kissed each other. It's like, oh, what the fuck? Yeah. It's so funny. He's great, and he has the shield and everything, which is cool.
I feel like I've not gone that far in the comics where Soldier Boy shows up. So yeah. I just have a gut feeling they're going to kill him, which is going to bum me out, man. Like I really want him to stick around.
Yeah, he's great. The fight scene between him and Homelander was some of the best.
Yeah.
Because like we'll never see an actual live action Superman fighting Captain America, but this was pretty close.
Yeah, and actually that was one thing. I mean, slight spoilers, but I guess it was great to finally see Homelander like, shit, I'm a little scared of someone else.
Right.
So that was kind of cool. I mean, we do see him break down where like he tries to put this front that he's fucking invincible, but dude's fucking insane, and we've seen him do some crazy mommy issues shit. But
yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of cool to see. He's like, oh shit, he's scared of this dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I'm excited to see how the season ends. And it's just one of those shows where it's kind of funny because I kind of forget about it until it comes on again, and when it comes on, I'm like, God damn, this show is just amazing.
I love the Ant-Man bit.
The Ant-Man. Yeah, they totally did like the Thanos.
They
thing.
took it. They did it a different way, but but they did it.
Yeah,
we'll just say and when I say a different way, a different hole.
Yeah, different entrance. Yeah, man, it was so funny. Like the shit they get away with on that show is hilarious to me.
I love that Amazon was just going for it. Just like,
they're like, do it. People seem to love it. And it's fun because, in the world of like Disney kind of owning everything and being real PG about everything, it's nice to see that some companies are willing to like just let loose and they're rewarded for it because we get awesome shows that people love watching. It kind of proves, why movies like Deadpool and The Kingsman actually work, as a super violent, super like obscene show or movie.
No, Hero Gasm, I was like, this is just straight up porn.
Yeah,
like, it's
so funny. The one superhero who his deal is he has like a super long prehensile dick.
Yeah, he's in the comics. It's not that big, but he's in the comics.
Yeah, it's so funny. The other thing out right now that we
I love Mother's Milk. I hope he gets more screen time, but Mother's Milk,
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah, he's great. I mean, all of their crew is hilarious. Butcher is, he's doing some crazy shit now. There's like a temporary compound V in it, which is pretty interesting. I'm interested to see how that kind of plays out a little bit more.
In the comics, it's all temporary.
Oh, interesting.
It only works for 30 days, and the 7, they don't know that they're getting it. Like they actually think they're getting it, and the crew has the compound V from the beginning. That's why I was like, I didn't want to say anything because I was like, okay, Cody hasn't read the comics, but now that it's out, I'm like, dude, I wonder when Butcher and the rest of them are gonna get their V, is like, because that was a big deal in the comics.
Interesting.
But I do like the angle, and it makes more sense what the show is doing. Like said, like we have to be better than them. That's the whole thing. Is
right.
We have to beat them without it. And they don't do that in the comics. They just take it right away. So I did love that dynamic where it's like, no, we can't be using this shit. We can't be like them.
Right.
And you kind of see, like, as much as Butcher hates fucking soups, he's kind of enjoying it, Like,
right.
It makes... I love the
Huey,
angle.
too.
I love the angle they took with Huey because it totally makes sense. Like, he's always
felt powerless.
Powerless, like, particularly when A-Train killed his girlfriend. I was gonna say his ex, but I guess it is his ex, not by choice. But
yeah.
But for him, like, he's always felt weak, and he's dating this superhero, and like, yeah, of course he feels weak. But that was the whole thing. Is like she said, like, I thought you didn't care, and like the whole time, like, dude, what are you doing? What did you? I was like, I know it's a show, and I know you're supposed to make the stupid decision, but don't. She's right. Like, go with her. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like. I'm sure as a character too, it didn't bother him at first, but then when it keeps happening, like he keeps having to get saved and he keeps getting put in these terrible situations where she has to come in and save him. Like, I'm sure that wears on him a little bit, But
I love how his power works. He just has to clench his butthole and then he jumps.
Yeah, he jumps and he's naked. So funny. It's so good. But check out The Boys. Couple more episodes left as of recording this, so it's a great show. It's on Amazon Prime, so check that one out. The other show we've been watching just came out last week for us is Umbrella Academy season 3,
which I didn't even know. Like, someone had told me.
Yeah, my roommate told me.
They're like, "Oh, are you watching?
Like, what are you watching? Umbrella Academy."
I was like, "What?" Like, they didn't announce it like at all. I felt.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that Netflix really needs to like figure out.
Well, it's like I kept seeing ads for coming up Stranger Things. Like, dude, if there's a show you don't need to announce and people are gonna watch, it's Stranger Things, man.
Right.
Like, you don't need to pump ad money for that. Like, yeah, and I had no idea. Then as soon as I found out, I just started binge watching it. Just haven't finished.
Yeah, and what are your thoughts of the season so far? You liking it? You know, how's it compared to previous ones?
I love the approach what they did with Elliot Page.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they brought it into the show, and I love, like, my best my favorite reaction was like when he was telling them, and Diego's like, okay, cool. So what's next? Like, what do we talk? We need to say the like, dude, that was the best fucking reaction. Like, I don't give a shit. All right, that's cool, man. We gotta keep doing the mission.
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting way. You know, I feel like they captured a lot of people's reactions to it, where like Diego's like, okay, whatever, let's move on, and then Luther's like, no, we should celebrate, we should throw him.
That
a
was
party.
fucking hilarious. He's like, you just want to have like what was it? You just want to have little mini sandwiches. He's like everyone loves mini sandwiches.
Everyone loves mini sandwiches. Yeah, you know, I thought it was like, I mean, as a filmmaker, that's a weird, awkward situation to have to deal with when you're making a new season, right? Because there's enough that goes into like, okay, I got to make sure the story makes sense and we get all the shots we need and all that stuff. That's another complication in there, and I think they handled it pretty well. It was a little heavy-handed, I mean, where it all had to happen within like a 5-minute sequence.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm glad they did that and didn't just spend like the entire season talking about it because it would derail the rest of the show, right?
Yeah.
So I thought it was cool. And I will say Elliot Page needs to figure out his hairstyle because it looks bad.
But Victor got so many compliments about it.
I mean, I don't know. It just looks really stringy and emo. But you know, I guess Victor when he was Vanya was also super emo, so I guess it kind of makes sense, right? But throw some product in there or something. It looks bad. How do you like the Sparrow Squad, Sparrow Society?
Sparrow Umbrella or Sparrow Academy. Sorry,
Sparrow Academy.
They're great. I love. Was it Faye or Phi?
Faye, yeah.
Faye. That's probably my favorite. I hate asshole Ben. I love Sweet Ben. I was like, where's Sweet Ben? He's always helping out Klaus.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I love their duo.
Right, and he was just a dick this whole time, basically. But you know, it's kind of a cool contrast. I like that one of them's just a floating cube.
Yeah, I was like, okay,
Christopher.
It's just floating cube with human skin.
Is that what it is?
It's human skin. It's supposed to be human. It was born.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because he does break apart and stuff in future episodes and stuff. So I don't know. It's like some weird space rock looking thing. But they're cool. Their powers are interesting.
I felt bad. Like the droopy guy, I was like,
oh yeah.
I was like, he kind of looks like Mark Ruffalo a little bit. I was like, a little. It's just like melted Mark, and I felt bad like thinking it, but it was just like, but his powers are cool.
Yeah, well, that's one thing I wish they went a little further into, because with the Umbrella Academy, we've had now 2 seasons with them where we've kind of figured out some of their powers, and especially in the last season, like we figured out more about Diego, where he's not just really good at throwing stuff, he can actually control like bullets and knives in the air and stuff. So he has like a telekinesis type deal.
Well, what I thought was what he could throw, he can move around, but yeah, it turns out things that are even thrown at him, he can like stop.
But we never see that in this season, which, you know, that's slight spoiler, I guess. But we never see that in this season.
Well, there's not a whole lot of fighting in this season.
Yeah,
I mean, there's some. It's not a whole lot.
Yeah, there's some more later on for sure. But yeah, we do find out a little bit more about other people's powers. We find out more about Klaus.
Yeah, I'm there. So
you're at that point, yeah. Where he's playing catch with his dad. Have you seen that scene?
No. I think it's coming. God. I think I'm on that episode, but I do love that, like, because if anyone, like, they all disliked their dad, but the one who hated him the most was Klaus, and particularly in season 1. But it's kind of cool to see, like his dad is finally kind of seeing and understanding Klaus, and like I love the Sparrow Academy was drugging their dad in order to prevent him from doing something, and then the biggest drug addict junkie in the group is the one
who gets him clean. Yeah, it's so good. I'm really enjoying this season. The storyline is fucking wacky as hell, which is to be expected with that show for sure. And I think I've said it before when we've done previous seasons, but the kid actor who plays 5 is the best.
Oh, he's him and Klaus are my favorite. Yeah,
and Klaus is amazing too. I mean, they're all great, but he's like, the character of 5 is so believable. Like Klaus, you can tell he's just kind of over the top and wacky. You can tell the actor himself
It's probably like that.
is probably like that a little bit. But 5 is just like he just steps on screen and it's just like you know who he is, what his motivations are. He's so good.
He even like when I was watching some of his, like, look at this fucking kid. Like even the body language of how he moves, he moves like an old man.
Yeah.
Like, and like he'll like when I did see the part where
and
like
he talks like an old man.
An old man. But when he gets to the scene with what was it? Something of agony with the biker gang.
Oh yeah.
Like he came in and like the bankers like, look at this kid, but at the same time he commands like respect, and they're kind of like, and like you believe it, like you fucking buy it. Yeah, no, that kid's great.
He's so good. Yeah. I really like what's his name? Luther. I just like him as this big dopey strong man. And he does kind of meet his match in this show too, with the super strong dude from the Sparrow Academy too. So it's kind of fun to watch him kind of have to deal with that, not being the biggest, strongest leader around. And I love how much he loves the Sparrow Academy by towards the end. He's just like, oh, this is great. But yeah, man, it's a good show. I'm really enjoying it. I'm excited.
I was happy to see Pogo come back. I'm like, yeah, Pogo.
Dude, can we talk about how good Pogo looks for a TV show? You know what I mean?
When he had the
biker jacket.
The biker jacket looked in the ponytail. Yeah, the tattoos. No, but I was going to say even when he was the younger him, when he was teaching them how to fight and he had like the martial arts uniform.
Yeah, exactly.
With the stick. I was like, dude, it's fucking awesome. Like,
but like the CG looks so good on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's crazy, like, because
not so much on the martial arts clothes, but his facial features, like his skin, all of that looked great.
Yes. It's really remarkable how good CG has gotten, where they can just make a chimpanzee like, and granted, he's not on screen for that long, but it's just really impressive. Where like some of their powers and stuff look kind of cheap, like.
When their strong guy was working out in the beginning and he did the flip, I was like, that is terrible CG.
Right.
Like,
or wire work or whatever it is. And then Vanya or Victor, when he like gets his like goes into the violin mode or whatever, you know, just looks kind of shitty every single time.
To me, it looks shitty in comparison when I forgot the older guy who was the kid from the last season.
Oh yeah.
When he does it or where they do it on him, it looks great.
Right. And I was just like, what? Maybe it's like
maybe it's the color saturation. I don't know.
Yeah, something weird.
Because his is red. And
when he without giving too much away, when he blows up in the hospital.
Yeah,
you know
that was great.
Dude, he looked so good.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, I just want more of that. But yeah, Victor just looks kind of weird. Like, yeah, and even when because Lila's in it too, and she can copy other people's powers. Same thing with her. It looks something about the effect isn't working.
She's great too, man. Particularly when her and Five are together.
Yeah,
like how much they hate each other, but they can work well together.
Yeah, exactly. And then how do you like the kid? What was his name?
Stephen or Stefan?
Stefan or something like that.
When the kid showed up, I was like, my first thing is like
he's from people might recognize him from Euphoria. He plays the drug dealer guy's kid brother in Euphoria.
Haven't seen Euphoria. But
Euphoria is weird, bro. I don't know. Like I'm worried if teenagers really act like that because we're fucked.
When the kid shows up on screen, I was like, that kid doesn't look half Latino. Like he doesn't fucking look half Latin. Yeah. So that was my first thing, and then spoilers, I guess. Like he's not fucking half Latin. But I was like, whatever. Maybe they just went with a good actor for the show.
He's got like a cholo haircut,
I guess, or skinhead, one or the other.
Yeah, one or the other. It's a fine line. It's a fine line. But yeah, check it out, guys. Umbrella Academy season 3's up now on Netflix. One thing that's great about Netflix too, it's all out. So you can I just binge watched through all of it in 2 days.
Yeah, you know what's not going to be great about Netflix soon? They're going to add ads.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll pay for an ad-free version. I mean, Netflix needs to do something quick to remain competitive because they, like you said, we didn't actually know that Umbrella Academy was out. You know
I think now Netflix has strong competitors like HBO Max.
Right.
Like
HBO killing the game.
we'll put out great shows, and also like movies that are going to
Even
be in
Hulu.
theaters. They'll put it out right away. Which Disney, you need to learn a little bit. They need to start putting their movies out sooner instead of paying like $30 for a movie you can go watch in the movie theater.
Yeah. Well, Doctor Strange is already out there.
Yeah.
But it's been a couple months. Also, little sidetrack. Another show I just watched on Hulu is called The Bear. It's not nerdy at all. It's all about cooking, like working in a restaurant. But it's a dramatic show. But it's all about like these guys in Chicago who work at like a Italian beef sandwich.
This isn't a reality show.
No. It's a dramatic show. It's with the guy, one of the kids from Shameless. That show.
Which one? Which kid?
The kid who's like he's like the short, stocky kid with the crazy hair. I can't remember his name in Shameless. He's the one who's always smoking cigarettes.
Oh yeah. What was his name?
I don't know.
Was
But he's that guy.
Okay.
And he like works in this Italian beef restaurant that his brother left him when he died. And he went to like culinary school and worked at like one of the best, restaurants in the world, Michelin star or whatever. And he's trying to turn his brother's shitty sandwich shop into a nice restaurant, and just dealing with like the shitty Chicagan, employees and stuff. It's great. It's called The Bear. And the only reason I knew about it was because Maddie Matheson was one of the consultants on it to make sure that they actually knew how to like cook.
Maddie who?
Maddie Matheson. Dude, you don't know who Maddie Matheson is?
No.
Holy shit. I need to show you a picture. Maddie Matheson is a chef, and he's become kind of famous because he's like kind of a wild, like, I don't know, personality is the best way I can put it. Where he's like yelling and stuff.
He looks like one of the dudes from Jackass.
He does kind of look like one of the dudes from Jackass, but he's like a celebrity chef kind of guy, and he has opened several nice restaurants and stuff. But he was one of these guys.
Isn't he a rapper? Isn't it something Bronson?
No, that's Action Bronson.
Okay, that's not him.
They're a different guy.
Okay,
but Action Bronson is like a rapper who also enjoys cooking. Maddie Matheson is like a chef, a classically trained chef who also happens to have loved doing like freaking cocaine and heroin and stuff like that. And now he's clean. But yeah, he was one of the consultants on it to make sure that it looks real, and it feels like you're in a kitchen with them. Very high stress environment. So check that out, The Bear on Hulu. All right, Christian. Anything else you've been watching lately?
Trying to think. We finished Obi-Wan. We talked about Obi-Wan.
The one thing I recently worked back through, which I'm embarrassed that I didn't give it a better chance because I ended up really enjoying it, was The Bad Batch.
Okay. You got over the animation?
It would have been better live action for sure. But I will say,
which it would have been hard because you'd have to CG what's his name's face. I forgot the actor's name.
Yeah, Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I understand it. Like that's one thing that I think the Clone Wars show and the Bad Batch show, the only reason those shows can exist is because it's easier to hit Control C, Control P, or Control C, Control V. Didn't want to print out a clone trooper. Just wanted to paste him. It's easier to control their to copy those faces when they're animated. Try to do that practically would be next to impossible.
I'm glad they made the show because when they were introduced in the last season of Clone Wars, I'm like, oh, I like these guys. Like this is a great idea, and that was cool that they got a spinoff.
And when I first saw that they were getting their own show, I was the opposite. I'm like, I don't really give a shit about this one random group of clones. But the way the show handles them was fantastic, because the point of that show is talking about how clone troopers had their own sense of individuality when they're all clones, right? Yep. And kind of what it means to be your own person and to make your own decisions. So the show itself starts up right when Order 66 is issued. And Order 66, for those who don't know, is the one where the Emperor gives out the order and the clone troopers turn on and kill all the Jedi. And that's when Darth Vader starts killing all the younglings and stuff. And it shows how they react to it. Like they were with these Jedi, and they all of a sudden they see the normal clones start gunning them down, and they're trying to actually help a Padawan escape in the first episode. That Padawan turns into what's his name from Rebels, Star Wars Rebels, Kanan.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's him. Freddie Prinze Jr. is his
It
voice.
sucks that we'll never get a live action of him, but that would have been fucking great. No,
maybe we could.
No,
probably won't.
We might get the
Ezra.
kid. Yeah,
Ezra might show up sometime. But
I'm wondering if they'll give him the blaster lightsaber. I don't think they'll do it, but
I don't know. As long as the lightsaber is normal thickness and not the super thin. That was the worst part about the Rebels. It's like they're all doing lightsaber toothpicks.
Well, they were actually shaped like a saber then. I mean, sabers are supposed to be thin.
Yeah, but they're not like a lightsaber.
They're not a lightsaber, but
it should be a lightsaber, like a fucking big old beam of light. But yeah, it's a good show. There's lots of cool things where, like, one of their people in their company sides with the Empire, and so they're kind of fighting him back and forth throughout the entire show. And there's some cool revelations about him. And they do tie into a lot of people that show up in other shows, like what's his name from Rebels. Hera from Rebels also shows up. I think one of the guys from another Ming-Na Wen's character from Boba Fett.
Oh yeah.
She's in it too.
Nice.
So like, there's some cool stuff. There's the Rancor from Jabba's palace.
You know what I would love, and I don't think they would ever introduce him, would be Chopper, their R2D2 bot. Chopper was my fucking favorite. Chopper
in Rebels.
Yeah,
he's in Bad Batch also. He shows up.
But I want him to show up live action. Because Chopper wrecks shit.
Dude, he's fucking awesome. He's like R2D2 turned up to 11.
Yeah.
Like if R2D2 like had a serious, crystal meth problem and a drinking problem. He just shows up, he's got like his waving arms and stuff.
But he does not hesitate to fucking murder people.
Yeah.
And like
and he's got this cool little sounds. Yeah, he's great. I think it would just be it wouldn't be too hard to do him. They'd do him all CG or something. But yeah, he's a great character. If you haven't watched Star Wars Rebels, check it out. It's actually a pretty good show.
Even R2D2 and Chopper together, because their personalities are so fucking different.
Right, exactly. And I think that's one of the things that people don't celebrate enough with Star Wars, is that to make droids like R2D2, who's basically a trash can on wheels, right? To make it so that you care about him, you can tell how he feels just by his little beeps and how he spins his head and stuff, is pretty impressive. Like that, hats off to what's his name, the guy who played R2D2, who died a few years ago.
And like that's another great thing the prequels did is like they've, with the same body shape of R2D2, like they added so many things without changing the design. I was like, oh, I didn't know he had a jetpack and he can fly when he needs to.
Right.
Well, I didn't know he can dump oil and light on fire to kill troopers or when he needed to.
I know. He's so good. I love the little droids. But yeah, check out the Bad Batch. My only problem with the Bad Batch is I thought the Bad Batch and the final season of Clone Wars were some of the best animated things that we've seen for Star Wars, right? Like I rewatched the Maul versus Ahsoka fight good. Dude, so good. And the one with her and Vader, also excellent.
And Obi-Wan and
Maul. That was in Rebels, but
okay.
That was in Rebels. I did rewatch that though, also. Yeah, it was so good. But the problem is, like, to watch the Bad Batch and really get the full value of it, you also have to have watched Clone Wars and Rebels beforehand.
Yeah.
Because people from both show up in it, right? And like it would be good if you watched Mandalorian and Boba Fett also, because of what's her name? Fennec
Shan.
Shan. Yeah. So, you know, it's hard to just like, if you just watched it, I think you would still enjoy it, but it wouldn't be as effective as if you had watched those other series first. So that's the only downside to it. But man, it's good stuff. Lots of good TV out there. It's a prime time to catch up and binge all your TV shows. Let us know down in the comments what you've been binging lately, whether it's TV shows or Haagen-Dazs or substances. We'd love to hear it. And if you have any new ones that we should check out, leave those down in the comments too. Shoot us a tweet or, hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. We do read all of your suggestions, even if you're just one of those people trying to make us an ambassador for one of their female clothing brands.
We get so many of this on Instagram. Like, I think you'd be a great ambassador for this. Yeah, did you even look at our profile?
Yeah, let's look at the latest one here, just to kind of end the show here, because we get so many of those. Here it is. It's under the requests. Hi, I'm a brand manager of Antonio & Co. Official. We are recruiting new ambassadors who will represent our brand, and your profile interests us. We have limited monthly spots and want to give you a chance to join for free.
And it's always like, we'll give you a 10% discount of the products.
Yeah, I'm like, cool. I don't give a shit. I don't want your shitty sunglasses. Yeah, they're like a sunglasses brand for women. And that's also what's interesting, is because we, don't mean to brag, Christian, but we have like 2% of our audience is female listeners, nice. Apparently. 2%.
Like the milk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, skimmed off the top. So it's funny that they want us, two dudes, to like be a brand ambassador for women's sunglasses, women's lingerie. We've done that one several times. Jewelry, all sorts of stuff. And we're just like, who is sending you our profile? How are you finding us?
It's because we have such a huge audience.
Such a huge reach, yeah.
That 2% still ends up being a lot.
Yeah, exactly. 2% of 45 billion listeners. It's quite a bit. It's more people than actually are alive. So, but leave us a comment. Even if you're one of those guys, we will read it and probably respond to it. Thank you guys for listening, liking, and subscribing. Christian, as always, thanks for being my ride or die.
Yay!
Yay! That's a fun one. And to all the nerds out there, remember, you're not alone. You're with friends. This is Nerds with Friends. Thank you and good night.